All right, guys, this is part 5 of my series on finding the perfect bike for you. And today we're going to talk about UL certification. So it doesn't apply to a lot of people. Right now it's only in New York, but New York started this thing and it's going to follow suit throughout all the other states at some point, I'm sure. It's a good thing because, they're looking at the bikes, making sure that they're up to, standards that we should be putting our bikes at and not have to worry about them. These bikes, for the most part, I know a lot of people fear these things, and this is something that may be stopping you from buying one. Most bikes that are on the market today are very safe. It's the batteries really that's the things that's the problem. And these batteries now, these manufacturers aren't stupid. They can't just buy a crappy battery and throw it on their bike. I mean, I'd be a little cautious of bikes that are $500-800 or whatever. But because a battery right now, 20 amp hour batteries around $500. So if you're buying a $500 bike and it's got a 20 amp hour battery on it, they're giving you the bike for free. So you just got to, put everything in perspective when you're buying something. But let's get back to this UL certification. So there's a lot of, no one really knows what's going on out there. I have actually done a lot of research into the UL, and I don't want to sit here and beat this to death today. So I'm just going to go over it briefly here. So the UL certification is UL 2849. That covers the entire bike. As you can see here, each component going into this electrical system on the bike, because that's what they're talking about. They don't care about the rest of the bike, just the electrical system. That's what they're certifying. So, even your battery charger has to be UL certified. So if you buy this bike, you look at your battery charger and you don't see that UL approval on that thing somewhere, the bike isn't certified. So you've got your traction pack here, battery pack, which would be meaning the battery that drives the motor in this thing, and that's going to be certified under the UL 2271. Now, a lot of manufacturers out there, if you're looking online, they say, hey, we're UL certified. Well, when you actually look at it, they might have a UL certified battery on it, but that doesn't make the bike UL certified compliant up here. And compliant is something that's a totally different thing too. So some of these companies are saying they're compliant. Well, that just means that they meet the specifications, but they don't have the UL certification. So you got to be very careful what these things say. If they don't say certified, and a lot of them say certified and they're still not. So what I'm saying is you have to be very careful. I've actually got a list of companies here, and it's very confusing anyways, because these companies are Chinese companies that have Chinese names, and you're not going to recognize it as a bike that you're looking at. So you actually have to go through the list, but the list isn't that big, guys. There's not a lot of certified bikes out here. And I'm not going to get into names of some of the bigger names. Even I've talked to a guy at a local bike shop here, and he's telling me that the bikes are certified, and I'm shaking my head going, no, they're not. But a lot of these bike manufacturers are claiming that they're certified when they're not certified at all. You have to be very careful. It's going to be very easy if you're in person looking at the bike. There's going to be an emblem on that bike that's going to say UL certified. It's going to have a holographic emblem on it so that you know it's real. If it's not on there, the bike's not certified, guys. So let's look at this briefly. Like I said, the battery chargers have to be certified also, so that battery charger is going to have a UL approval on it. If it's not there, then it's not certified. The battery packs, so the batteries themselves are falling under this. The batteries run the 7.1. So this right here, UL 2271, is the standards on that US bike here. Not sure what all these other ones are. The controller has to fall under these, so on and so forth. But like I said, it's all the electrical on the bike. That's all I care about. Now, your battery charger should have this on it somewhere. If it's not on there, guys, it's not certified. Because to be UL certified, it's got to have that on it. Like I said, UL anything but certified is not, they can be UL listed. I believe the UL listed is the same as UL certified. But again, don't trust what you read, guys. So you, like I said, you want to have this on there on your battery packs. This is the list of companies. There's only 5 pages, like I said. And again, you have to, like this one here, okay? I know this is a company that sells bikes. I know this company. A lot of these other companies, you're not going to recognize. So you got to click into their page, and you can look at their products that are certified. And but I'm going to go to this one because I know this company well. And their products right here. See, now this lists these bikes. So if you go out and you look at Velotrek, you're going to see these bikes. So these bikes are UL listed bikes here. So when you go to look at those things, you're going to see the certificate on it, and I'm going to show you that certificate. So before I ramble away from this page, this is under the UL website. You can go to it. Anybody can search on it, and you'll get the list of all the bike manufacturers. You'll get, this list includes anything to do with the bike that they're UL. I mean, this, I saw Panasonic here. This is probably only for the batteries, okay? So just because they're on here doesn't mean they're an e-bike company manufacturer, but I'll just hit the list. You'll see there's a lot here, like Bafang. This is a motor company, guys. So the motor going into the bike. Trek is on here. Doesn't mean all the Trek bikes, just the ones that are listed. So, like I said, you can check here, and I'm going to tell you, there's a handful of bikes that are out there that are truly certified. So this is the UL page. This is a good page to go to, too, to get some ideas. These certificates on the bottom here is what I want to show you. The bike is going to have this sticker right here, because this one here is for the e-bikes. So it's going to have the hologram here, which you can't really see that well. It's going to have your number on it. It's going to say it's UL listed 2849. If you don't see this sticker somewhere on the bike, they can tell you the thing's certified all they want. These bikes have to come with this sticker on it. I can tell you that. So be aware of that. Again, they're showing you, they go the battery packs, battery charger, the motor, the cells in the battery, the safety circuits, meaning the cutoff switches and the brakes, so on and so forth. And I just wanted you guys to be aware of the fact that there's a lot of claims being made about certification, and they're not. So if you're in a state, like I said, if you're in New York, go to a bike company and make sure that that thing is legit. Because if you buy it online and it gets shipped from China, what are you going to do? Send it back? I mean, it might sound easy, but like we've been over, it's not easy to send back a bike. So just something to avoid. So, I mean, that's it for that. But I do want to talk about some safety items too. Because you're buying a bike, you got to know about, how to drive it safely. I mean, just it's stupid things that we all should know. All right, guys, now we're going to go over the safety things that we should all know and we should all do before we go out on a bike. So the number one thing is always wear a helmet, guys. Seriously, put a helmet on. I wear my helmet all the time when I go out on the bike. And you just start doing it, get used to it, you'll be fine. It's, for you women out there, will it mess up your hair? Probably. I'm not going to say it's not, but, it's going to mess up your hair a lot more if you hit the pavement and crack your head open. So put a helmet on, guys, seriously. I mean, obviously, you're an adult. You can do what you want. But I highly suggest putting a helmet on, especially because these e-bikes can get some speed on them, So also, you want to know, how to ride an e-bike. Do it like a car. Follow the same rules that you would when you're driving your car, and then you'll be safe. Don't go down the road and go, hey, that car should stop for me because I'm on a bike. So yield to the cars. Do it the same way you would do. I mean, don't get taken advantage of, but if you come to an intersection, you were there first, go through if it's safe to do so. So whatever you would do in a car, stop at a stop sign, stop at a stoplight, so on and so forth. You're going to go, I run the road all the time. I come up to a stoplight. the bike doesn't set it off. Sometimes I have to run them, so you're going to have to be aware of that. Don't sit there all day. Wait until it's safe. Look both ways. Make sure you're all set. You might have to run it. Just wait an appropriate amount of time, though, just to make sure. And so obviously stop at the stop sign, stop lights. We already went over that. Use lights when running in the dark, of course. Use hand signals or signals on the bike. I have directionals on some of my bikes, not all of them, and they're available aftermarket. I'm going to go over accessories in another one. So we will hit that. So number 3, understand the rules for e-bikes in your area, meaning in my area, Class 1 and 2 e-bikes can go on the rail trails, and Class 3 bikes are not supposed to be on the rail trails. But, I mean, only you are going to know that for the most part. Not that I'm endorsing it, but I'm just saying, you know, be respectful. That's what I do. I just drive respectful when I'm on the trails. And because there's walkers, there's dogs, there's all kinds of people. I see people in wheelchairs out there and stuff. So, again, you know, be courteous, be kind. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. So, but you got to understand too, you know, in your state, do you need a helmet on the bike? You know, find out these rules before you just hit the road. So, helmets required. You know, if you got younger kids riding these bikes, they're probably going to need a helmet, guys, and they really shouldn't even be riding them. And there's a lot of controversy over that. You know, I was a kid too once, and you wouldn't keep me off one, I can tell you that. But you know, I'm not endorsing it. Let's put it that way. Perform a pre-flight check. So, you know, make sure that your e-bike has air in the tires, proper amount of air. I don't mean you have to run out there every single time you go out there with the gauge to make sure you have 20 pounds in it or whatever. But walk up to your bike and squeeze it. That's what I do. I squeeze the tire, and I know what the proper, you know, tire should feel like at this point. So you want to squeeze the tire. Pull your brakes back. If you got hydraulic brakes and one hits the bar, something's wrong with that brake. So, you know, and I mean, if you got cable pull brakes and the lever comes all the way back to the bar, there's probably a problem with that too. So you want to make sure your brakes work. You want to make sure that everything on that bike is operational. Check your battery. Make sure you got enough battery for how far you're going to go with the bike. You know, make sure that you can shift it. Make sure, just check over the bike good before you just blindly hit the road. Because obviously, you know, you take off out of your driveway and the first thing you come to is a big hill. You go flying down the hill and then go, oh crap, I have no brakes. So check that stuff before you ride the bike, guys. And make sure you bring the proper equipment too. You know, we talked about helmets. Guys, wear gloves too. I mean, search online for guys falling off of the bikes. The first thing you see is their hands are all scraped up because that's the first thing you put out. You got to try to stop yourself from falling. Put your hands into the pavement. If you got some decent gloves on, it's going to help out. Even if it's summertime, I get you don't want to wear gloves, but I wear the fingerless gloves. So it's going to protect my palms, and your palms are what you're going to put down on the pavement if you go. So, you know, wear gloves, wear a helmet, like I said. You know, if you're going to go out for a fast ride, and you know pretty much when you take off on your bike what you're going to be doing. But if I'm going to hit the road and I plan on, you know, really hoofing it, I'm going to be doing 20 miles an hour, wear long pants, you know, just like you're on a motorcycle. You don't go out there in flip-flops and, you know, shorts to go ride a motorcycle. Well, you shouldn't anyway. So, you know, dress appropriately is what I'm saying. So it says take extra care before you decide to ride at night. Obviously, again, have lights. Make sure you can be seen all the way around. Reflectors, you know, you got to remember, you might have a light in the front, might have a light in the back, but can they see it from the side? Because if you're crossing that road, do you have reflectors on the bike? I know a lot of people don't want reflectors on them. I put rim tape on my bikes. You can buy reflective rim tapes. You can buy it in all different kinds of colors. It kind of makes your bike look cool, you know. So that's why I do it. And it shows up quite a bit. So, you know, like I said, be seen from the front, be seen from the back, be seen from the sides, and you're good to go. You know, use hand signals when you're out there too. Let the other people know what you're doing. I mean, always show your intention when you're coming up to an intersection where, you know, people are going to look at you like, okay, what's he doing? Just give some kind of indication like, hey, I'm going straight. You know, I'm making a left-hand turn, right-hand turn, whatever it is. Let them know. All right, don't carry passengers on your e-bike if it's not designed for it. In other words, if you have a rack on the back and the rack's rated for 50 pounds, it's probably not meant to have a person on it. I don't think anybody that I'm out here talking to is probably going to do that, but you know what? Some grandparents may want to throw their, grandchildren on the back and ride them around. Just, use your head, guys. You can get these cargo bikes now that you can put car seats on, so if you want to do that, there's, trikes out there that have seats on the back. There's all kinds of stuff if you're a grandparent and you want to drive your kids around. I saw they got a rickshaw one, a little e-bike trike that's a rickshaw, so that might be an interesting thing. So understanding the actions will turn your e-bike, understanding the actions that will turn your e-bike motor on, turn the switch on. The other thing you got to remember too, and the next thing is, power down your bike when you stop, because you could be sitting there talking to somebody and your bike's still on and you got it in pass 5 and you're chatting away and you hit the throttle by mistake and it takes off. So if you got to come to a stop and you're not have the intentions of taking off right away, you might want to hit that power button, or at least take the pass and drop it down to 0 so there won't be any mistakes. I actually had a bike that I was out on a bike review, and the chain kept going around it kept falling off too, but so if I pushed the bike, the chain would go around, which would drive the pedals, and that bike kept wanting to take off every time I was pushing it. So it had to be powered down and put in 0. So that was the next thing we're going over, is powering it down. So make sure it's powered down all the time. It says, put it in assist level 0 or turn it off completely. So buy an e-bike with safety features. Well, that's what we're going over here. Any bike that you buy commercially is going to have these motor interrupter brake levers. There's a wire in each brake so that when you pull back the brakes, it shuts that motor off. So like I said, if it's a commercial bike, it's going to be there. If it's a homemade bike, it may or may not be there. Disc brakes, more power is needed, they're saying, so you should have disc brakes rather than the ones that used to grab the rim. So it's saying have the class sticker on the bike. These bikes come with, I won't even say all bikes, because I've got one down there. I bought it brand new and it doesn't have a class sticker on it. So most states require that the e-bike be labeled with the sticker. Sometimes when you buy these e-bikes, they come in class 2 or class 1, depending on the bike. I don't know of any that ship them in class 3 because I think it's technically against the law. So you can change it to class 3. I'm letting you figure that out on your own. But you can change them to class 3, but you're supposed to peel the sticker off and put the class 3 sticker on. And I'm saying peel it off because a lot of bikes have the class 2 on it, but if you peel off the class 2, there's a class 3 sticker on it. I don't peel off mine because if I get pulled over on a rail trail, I'm going to go, hey, it's a class 2. But again, I do not fly on the rail trail. I drive my bike respecting everybody. So, they're saying reflectors. All right, guys, this is the end of part 5, going over the UL certification and also over some of the safety things that you want to do prior to riding your bike. The next one we're probably going to do is on accessories, and that's going to be about it for the series. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, guys.